Hello and welcome to another recent pickups video. Today I'm gonna show you a ton of movies I bought this past while, and yeah, to those people who are watching and wondering, Dali, what happened with the games? Are you not a game collector? Aren't you like still buying games? And isn't this a gaming channel? And yes, maybe. I mean, I'm still collecting games, I'm still buying games, but it's just I don't buy that much anymore. My gaming room has kind of hit max capacity. I think that's the word. So I'm actually down to like between 1 to 4 games a month, and I don't really feel like it's worth showing that off. Like also with me buying the PS5, I'm buying a lot of new games for that. A lot off. I buy like one game a month or something for the PS5, and I don't know. But still, I still collect games. I'm running out of space for games. But at least in my game room, I still have room in my living room, but I kind of want to keep my gaming room and my living room separate as much as possible. So yeah. So don't want the games to sneak around all over my apartment. Kind of want to keep them contained in there and in my storage unit. But that's also like running out of space. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna show off the movies I bought this while. I'm still a gamer, I'm still a game collector, but I'm also a movie watcher, movie fan, and I collect movies also now. So yeah. Anyways, the first thing I'm gonna show off is actually not a movie, but a TV series. I'm a big horror fan, but I'm also a big fan of old English TV series and the Hercules Poirot, I think I pronounced that kind of right, series. I just love that. This is just an empty cardboard case. There was a couple of big DVD cases inside it with a ton of discs, and I love this. I watched this on TV like a ton when I was a child. I love the time era when this takes place in. I think it's like the 30s in the UK. And yeah, this is the definitive Hercule Poirot. The newer movies with Kenneth, whatever his name is, they're fine. They're fun enough. Except for the fucking mustache thing in like Death on the Nile. That was so fucking dumb. Like, I like the movie, but that part kind of wanted me to get up and go out of the movie, just walk out. Out of that, I think the movie was great, but still, this show beats it all. It's the right person to play Hercule, David Shishett, I don't know how to pronounce that. And the series just has so much style and class, and really just captures the era of the time it's supposed to take place in. So yeah, this is fucking awesome. I'm happy to have this. So yeah, let's push this here for now. Oh yeah, another thing. Let's just move around here. I'm not a big anime guy, I'll say that straight away. I used to when I was younger. I used to be very much into like manga and anime and all that crazy shit. But as of late, not really. It happens once in a while I get caught up in an anime or something like that, but it's not something I do in much. But then I kind of got like a song stuck in my brain, and it was a song from an anime I watched as a child. I had it on DVD, and I was like, oh, I gotta get that again, because I got nostalgic trip. And it was Tank Police, the new Dominion Tank Police. I had this DVD as a child, and I bought it for like, I don't know, how much, less than $10 in a DVD store back in the day. I can remember that. And yeah, I loved this as a child. I watched it, but then as I grew older, I kind of just like grew out of anime, and I kind of sold all the shit I had, like DVDs and the mangas and shit. But then I got the tune for the intro stuck in my brain, and it's a fucking awesome tune. And Tank Police, feel the power. It's something like that. I just butchered an awesome intro song. But yeah, anyway, so I looked up what this DVD box was going for online, and I was like, woo! That's a lot of money! And I paid like $10 for it back in the day. So I kept doing my search around Google, and I found like this really weird, shady site, which I was like, really, do I dare to buy it? Because I found this, and it was like $2 on there. Granted, this is the Danish version, so it's probably not going to be as expensive as the English version that I looked at, where the price was really high. But I was still like, $2. That seems like too good to be true. Or $2.30 around that, like if you convert it into that. So I bought it, and surprise, surprise, it arrived in the mail. And with all them animes being so cheap, I actually bought a couple of others. I also bought one I have never heard of, called August 02, also like a mech kinda anime. Never watched it, never heard of it. I looked it up, people seem to be pretty thrilled about it, so it could be pretty cool. And I also bought the Neon Genesis Evangelion on DVD. Never watched this series, oops. And the webpage had them all, except for number 4. Like, they're all like numbered like 1, 2, 3, 5, 5 and 6. But they missed 4, so I'm missing that one. But I had all these, and they were all $2 a piece or something like that. So I had to have them. This is like a pretty iconic anime, so yeah, I think I can even, if I wanted to, I could resell it easily for the same or more, probably much more. So yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think I even talked about Tank Police when I think about it. Like, it's this show about these like cops in the future of Tokyo, I think. Newport City, okay, excuse me. Where crime has gotten so bad that the police force needs a tank department or unit where all the officers drive around in tanks, and there's some weird fucking villains and a lot of... it's a fun series. I really like this. There's like this one, and I think also a different kind of series. I also think there's a manga, but I haven't read that. So yeah, anyways. This was actually what I really wanted, so I'm happy to have that. Alrighty. I bought something. I've been kind of surprised with the sequels to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The second one was a ton of fun, and the third one was well, really enjoyable. So I continued, and I bought the fourth one, and this is the German version of it, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation. And yeah, this is where the train crashed. Like, this is fucking crap. Like, rarely have I seen such a bad movie. Matthew McConaughey is in it, like, would you believe it? And I think that's the most fun part, that's him. But it doesn't really help the movie. It is just, no, it's not good. The first 3 movies in the series are very enjoyable. Like, they're very different, but still very enjoyable in their own way. I especially like the second one. That's probably... Like, the first one is iconic and historical and all that shit. But if I had to sit down and watch a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie right now, it'd probably be the second movie. I really enjoyed that one. Also bought a crap movie just because it was cheap and because I wanted to see if it was as crap as possible, because there's a lot of at least big names in the world of horror, and that is Robin Hood, Ghost of Sherwood, another German version of a movie. And there are people like Martin Thorne, Ramona Kuhn, I don't know who those are, Tom Savini I know, Kane Hodder, and Claude Oliver Rudolph from a James Bond movie. Like, there's a lot of big names in this like little crap movie that was like, and again, $2. And I tried to watch it. It's fucking long. It's almost 2 hours long. And yeah, it moves at a snail's pace, and it's super boring. I think there's supposed to be like zombies in it, but I think except for like the opening part, I think I watched like close to 40 minutes of it before I turned it off, and I was like, nothing is happening. I'm just gonna turn this shit off. And yeah, that's why. And still talking of bad movies to get, just because you want some bad movies, I bought this little action film collection with movies as Oh Zombie, Hirukin, I don't know what that is, and Battle Earth. They all look terrible. I'm especially excited to watch Oh Zombie. Not watched that one yet. That could be in such a poor taste, and I love poor taste. So that could be enjoyable. Let me see, what's the first one? Oh Zombie is about when a conspiracy terrorist goes on a mission to the Middle East. He crashes headlong into Osama bin Laden, who has returned from his watery grave to create an army of zombie insurgents. So this happened after Osama, or this was made after Osama bin Laden was killed. Holy crap. And Hurricane is about it's set in the post-apocalyptic world. A reluctant samurai with a dark past sets off on a mission to avenge the murder of his family and fulfill his destiny. And Battle Earth, the confirmation of an extraterrestrial life, is broadcast across the world as a massive spacecraft breaks through the atmosphere on a crash course into the Atlantic Ocean. So yeah, it sounds awful, terrible, just crap. And I have it. Another movie I got, I really liked the trailer. so I really wanted to watch this. I hoped it would come to my cinema, but it did not. And that is Gold with Zac Efron, who most people probably know from High School Musical. I don't know. Some people don't like him. I'm indifferent to him. I think he's a good actor. I think he did well in this, even though the movie itself wasn't super great. When I first saw the trailer, I thought like, yeah, I really like this. I like this like slow paced, especially like with where one or two actors can just play on each other or just go crazy. So I was up for this. I was a little surprised when I watched this. It was supposed to take place in the post-apocalyptic world, and when I saw the trailer, I was just, oh, it's in Australia. I don't know if that says something about me or my perception of Australia, but luckily it also turns out the movie was shot in Australia, so I was not that far off anyway. But I hadn't guessed it was supposed to be the post-apocalyptic. That was a surprise until I watched the movie. And yeah, it's about these two men who actually doesn't really know each other. The one guy, who was Zac Efron, has paid the other guy to drive him across the desert to this settlement. And on the way there, they come across this big, giant gold piece that they want. But Zac Efron has to stay behind and protect the gold until the other guy can come back with some digging equipment to bring the gold in. A lot of shit happens. He has to fight the elements, and it's in the desert. It's hot as fuck. It's not fun, but it's a fine movie. Not a great movie, but a fine movie. A very fine movie is Tigers Are Not Afraid. This movie was great. A Mexican movie, Mexican fantasy horror movie. A lot of cool elements in this one. About this group of kids who all lost family to the cartel, and they're on their own. And in the beginning, like, a young girl gets 3 wishes, and every time she wishes for something, it turns into something horrible yet helpful sometimes. It's hard to explain. Like, I really recommend this movie. It's beautiful, and the kid actors are doing such a great job. I don't really like kid actors. I usually think they're bad, but this one, they're really good. Really enjoyed this one. Probably the most creative movie I've watched in a while, and for all the people who love arts and craft, they've made a maze. Holy crap, this was such a riot to watch. Like, I'm not usually into comedies, and this is like maybe a dark comedy, a weird comedy. And it's basically about Dave, who, like, while being alone in a weekend, while his girlfriend is away, he takes a lot of cardboard and starts building a maze. But it turns out the maze is kind of magical, and it appears to be much larger on the inside, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and like some of the cardboard has come to life and everything. And yeah, crazy movie. Cannot recommend this enough. I mean, the amount of creativity in this. I don't think I know any single of the actors in it, but still, this is just so fun. I really recommend it. Like, just for the creativity of this alone, it's just worth it. Alright, I did an unboxing of this one, so yeah, here is it again. The Lord of the Rings Middle-earth, or what's it called? Middle-earth Ultimate Collector's Edition. Yeah, the collection where we get the Hobbit trilogy and the Lord of the Rings trilogy collected, and with a ton of bonus material, and I'm really happy to have this. I haven't watched this yet. I'm probably saving it for my summer vacation. Whenever that time comes, it's probably gonna be way past summer, but oh well. I love these movies, even The Hobbit. I really enjoyed those as well. I already have the Lord of the Rings on 4K, but I didn't have The Hobbit on 4K, and with all the extra material you got with this, I just had to have it. And I got it really cheap one day, just out of the blue. It was like half price on a webpage. And then I also had like a lot of points on the webpage I can convert into like a discount. So I just used this, and I got it for really cheap at least. So yeah, I love this thing. Can't wait till I get some time to watch this. I also got a movie called Inside Louis Davis, right? Llewyn Davis. Yeah, a Coen Brothers movie, right? Or is it just one of them? No, it's the both of them. Yeah, about this folk musician in I think it takes place in the 60s, who tries to make a career of it, and it's not going that well. And yeah, it's really interesting. Like, it's a slice of life kind of movie, and I really enjoyed this. with Oscar Isaac, who got really big recently due to the what's it called, the movie Moon Knight series, not a movie. And yeah, really good. Enjoyed the songs and really loved the vibe of this movie. That's really cool. A horror movie I watched that should be underrated, and I think it is underrated because I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about it, is The Taking. And I think it's also known as The Taking of Deborah Logan in some areas of the world. Depends on where you live. Also very cool, and it's about this like documentary crew who kind of gets who follows this lady with Alzheimer's or dementia, and as it turns out, there might be something other than that wrong with her. It turns into like this horrific movie, and it's really well made. I don't think this exists on Blu-ray yet, at least not like one that is cheap enough for me to buy. But I really recommend this. It's dark and gritty and really horrific. Also bought another one. I haven't watched this yet. It was cheap, so I bought it. Pathology, yeah. And it's about this like a gleeful horror fest. And I think it's about like these medical students. Let me just read on the back here. Oh yeah, it's about these medical students who, let's just see. Yeah, they kill people, and then when the body arrives to their school, they kind of they have like this game where they kill people, and when the body arrives to the school, the other characters who is a part of the game has to guess how the person was killed. And I haven't watched it yet. I was intrigued by the premise, and saw it was from creators of Crank, which also could be pretty cool. I think I watched Crank. Like, I'm not really an action movie guy, but Crank was pretty awesome, I think. It's been a while since I watched it, so I can't remember. I also bought Hereditary. I have watched this a while ago, and yeah, it's a great movie about family. And I know this movie scared a lot of people. But honestly, to be honest, when I watched it, yeah, I loved the beginning, but I think the last 10-15 minutes I was just laughing through most of it. It was too silly, honestly. It jumped the shark, in my opinion. But still, super well-made movie. It feels horrible at some points, and yeah, just loved it. The last 15 minutes, they just overdid it a bit, and I was laughing, like... spoiler alert, there's just like a naked guy standing there. The woman kind of starts hitting her head against the wall, and all I could hear was like Daffy Duck's woo 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 laughter in my head. And yeah, great movie nonetheless. Another movie I haven't watched yet is the Resurrected. Also heard a lot of good stuff about this movie. This is an American version of the movie, so I don't have an American Blu-ray player yet. I have ordered one, but it's gonna come here sometime this month. I think that's at least what they have promised me so far. And yeah, I'm waiting on that so I can watch this one and other movies I bought that are American. Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, I heard a lot of good stuff about this, and I think it's about like a modern kind of Frankenstein or something like that, where this dude has to like resurrect someone, and yeah, it goes crazy. I haven't watched it. I've taken it at face value. Saw a trailer and just said, I'm gonna take this. Heard a lot of good stuff about it. Gonna buy it, and yeah, now I'm just waiting for my American Blu-ray so I can watch this. Another movie I heard a lot of good stuff about, and I bought it's Pulse, an Asian horror movie, and I watched it and I thought it was alright. Nothing great. Well, it has some very good moments. It also just has some very dull moments. And usually I like slow-paced horror movies, but I just felt like it got too slow here, even for me. And yeah, it's also a 2-hour horror movie, which sometimes I also feel like it drags on a little bit too much. But anyways, when it's good, it's really, really good. When it's not, it's just you're just waiting for something to happen. Yeah, I also bought Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Holy crap. Like, this Elvira is just fucking hot. I don't care what anybody says. She is fucking hot. Even today, the lady who plays Elvira is still smoking hot, and she's like 70 or something. It's crazy. Look her up, man. She is fucking hot still. And this is like a horror comedy thing, more comedy than horror, with Elvira who inherits an old house from an aunt or something, who turns out to be a witch, and there's like magic and stuff like that, and it's weird comedy. But the best part about it is you get to see a lot of Elvira and her body and close-ups, and you can count all the freckles on her boobs. Do you want to know how many freckles are on her boobs? Not one. They are fucking perfect. Oh my god, that was dumb. Alright, this movie also looks super crazy. I bought this off the trailer alone. I haven't watched it yet. Excision? I'm not pronouncing that right. I don't think I am. Excision? I don't know. The cover also just looks fucking awesome. And it's about this 17-year-old Pauline who is a typical teenager. She feels outside in school, struggles to get her mother's accept, and has a burning wish to lose her virginity. And she is, what is that word? Obsessed of meat and pills in wood, and touches pigs in wood, dissects dead animals, and have extreme daydreams about sex, violence, and surgery. And it looks fucking crazy, and I can't wait to watch this. I just haven't really had the time, or like I have had the time, but I haven't really had the like right time to watch a movie like this. So yeah, I'm saving this for a rainy day. Okay, another movie I also did an unboxing of was The Howling. I watched this, and yeah, I have not watched this apparently before. I had a memory of watching this before, but that was apparently a fake memory, because I watched this and I was like, I don't recognize a single part of this. And when I saw the intro, I was surprised to see what's his face. Robert Picardo, that's his name. Why couldn't I remember that? I remember the Picardo part, but I could not remember his first name. Who also plays the Doctor on Star Trek Voyager. And I watched this and I was like, when is he's supposed to be in it? And I watched all through the movie and I was like, I didn't see him. Like, where was he? Did I miss him? But it turns out he's like the werewolf and he has hair. I was looking for the bald guy with the attitude, but apparently he was the werewolf and he had long hair, so I just didn't recognize him. That was kind of weird. But after I knew and I watched the scene again, I was like, oh yeah, I recognize the voice now. Now that I know that, I was just so used to the bald head. It was kind of weird. But yeah, again, maybe not an awesome movie. Maybe tone it down a little bit. But it's a fun movie. It has like great effects. Again, I think the slow parts here are a little boring. Again, it could be a little better in my opinion. But when it gets going, it really gets going. And the werewolf looks amazing, and the transformation looks amazing. The special effects really off the charts. So yeah, fun movie, definitely worth a watch. But yeah. Probably have your phone next to you, maybe. Alright, I also bought a musical, and I'm a big musical fan. I know it's kind of weird mix, horror and musicals, but yeah, I am. It's weird. I watched a couple of songs on this online, Man of La Mancha, and they're fucking awesome. I just have to get the musical, and yeah, again, it's an American version, so I can't watch it yet until I get my American Blu-ray player. And it follows the story of Don Quixote. So did I pronounce that right? Like, he's kind of like one of my favorite literary characters about this rich. I guess he's not a nobleman, but he has money, and he spends pretty much all of them on books about knights and chivalry. And then one day he just decides to go out there in the world as a knight to spread goodness and do like knightly stuff. And yeah, but he ends up just imagining a lot of stuff. Like, he sees these giant windmills, and to him it looks like giants, and he starts fighting them, but there's nothing. And yeah, it's kind of like, it's both a beautiful and also sad story, also a very fun story. So yeah, it has a little bit of everything, and I kind of really like that. And up until recently, I didn't even know there was a musical of it. So yeah, I was really excited to get this one, so can't wait until I finally get that American Blu-ray player. Alright, another movie from the guy who made Hereditary, Midsommar. I also watched this one, and I really love this one. I actually think I prefer this over Hereditary, if I'm being honest. Like, very colorful. I love horror movies that are colorful and takes place during day. Just I don't know, that's just something really good about that. And yeah, it's about this American people group, students, who goes to Sweden in a vacation trip, and they visit this like cult. Like it to them, it's like a communion or something where they live like a old school style, like with bare minimum necessities, and really fun. But of course, it has a couple of dark turns and twists, and yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. So yeah, go watch this one if you haven't. And then I also bought the Spanish version of Return of the Living Dead. This movie, holy crap! I have a story of this movie. A friend of mine, had burned the movie online on a disc and gave it to me. And the disc was in terrible quality. But I still watched it over and over again, and that was because one of the characters, called Trash, had a scene where she dances naked atop of a what do you call it? A grave, a gravestone or something like that. And yeah, my preteen little teenage brain just like porn. This was before I had easy access to internet, so yeah. So just I rewound that part so many times on that damn disc in that poor quality, and I'll admit that was probably also the reason why I got this. I kind of want to see that scene again in full HD, and it was glorious. It was just glorious. Naked Trash dancing, and yeah, but it is, if you take that part, which is great, the naked dancing on a grave. It's also a very great zombie movie with a lot of great effects. I really recommend this one. One of the better ones, like also because there's a twist to the zombies. Like these zombies cannot be killed like at all. Even if you stab them in the brain or cut the head off, they'd still move around and attack, and it just makes them seem more scarier when they aren't. Like today's zombies are kind of like a joke because they're cannon fodder, and all knows how to deal with a zombie, and just a simple twist that not being able to kill them in the head kind of like improves quite a lot on the movie. So yeah, that I like that. Also, it's a lot of fun. I really recommend this one. Alright, a more kind of rare movie. It's at least a little pricey, but I looked at it for a while, and that is Possession. Let's just see if I can. It looks with this lady. Cannot remember her name, but Sam Neill is also in it, and this is such a weird fucking movie. And I cannot recommend it enough. I was like brain fucked afterwards. I was like, what the fuck is happening? But I still loved it. And as I said, a young Sam Neill is in it, Jurassic Park, and her name is Isabella Adjani. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. And they are a married couple where he's been away for a while, and he comes home, and he figures out that she has been seeing someone else, and relationship kinda crumbles after that, and he gets really jealous, and they have a child together, so it's kinda ugly. And a lot of it has to do with the relation between her and him, and how she has been like almost possessed by this other man. At first, that's what he thinks, but it turns out it's something else, and I don't want to spoil it. It's a fucking glorious movie. Definitely give it a watch. You don't need to get the Blu-ray version, to be honest. Like, the Blu-ray version is fine, but it's also very expensive. If you can find a cheaper DVD version, that's also great. So yeah, definitely very, very unique, and not many movies like this. So yeah, also just fun to see young Sam Neill in a horror movie. I also got another movie, Dead End, with Ray Wise, and I cannot remember what her name is. Like the queen of horror kind of lady, like the old queen. She's just suddenly started to get very popular in horror movies, like an elderly lady. Cannot remember her name, but I'm gonna show her name and maybe also a picture of her so you know what the fuck I'm talking about is in this. And it's a fun movie about this family driving to a Christmas dinner, and yeah, they're driving this dark forest road. Shit starts to happen. They come across a lady in white carrying a child, and something's very off with her. And yeah, it's a fun movie. I can really recommend this. Like, it's not a masterpiece or anything like that, but it's like if you come across it and you find it like for a decent price, or just want to rent it for a night, it's fine. Like really, it's not just fine. It's good. Check it out. Alright, I also bought this. This is kind of like two movies in one, and it's called a Meatball Machine Doku, something like that. And it also has the original Meatball Machine. I only watched the original so far, And it's basically a crazy movie in kind of same vein as Tokyo Gore Police or whatever it's called. And about these, I think it's aliens who take over people's body and they turn them into like this living weapon, mech suit or almost sort of thing. And this guy who is trying to fight them. And that's at least the first one. I haven't watched the second one. I don't dare to guess what that's about. But I'm guessing it's like a continuation of sorts. So yeah. Weird fucking movie. So Japanese in the most Japanese way. I was lucky enough to watch this in the cinema, and as soon as it came out I had to get it because I was blown away by it. It's probably one of the best movies I watched in a while, and it is Pig with Nicolas Cage. This is like both the sweetest and just a good movie. I love this movie. It has some very powerful scenes. Like it had a scene where I probably need to explain the story before I talk about the scenes. Like Nicolas Cage is a loner living out in the woods with his pig. They collect truffles, and that's how they make. I wouldn't say money, but that's how he get like supplies by trading that to this young kid or young guy who's also in Hereditary, plays the teen in there, and. Yeah, that's how he makes money, but one day the truffle pig is stolen and he has to try and find the truffle pig. And his hunt takes him across was it New York? No, Oregon. What's it called? Oregon. Yeah, I think. And he meets up with a lot of people. At some point we figure out that Nicolas Cage used to be like a master chef with his own place until he just left everything behind. And they meet one of his former apprentices who has opened up his own restaurant, very fancy. And in that scene where Nicolas Cage talks to his former apprentice, it's so great. He likes, in the most like nicest way, almost politest way, picks him apart just completely. And yeah, fuck me, that scene was so fucking powerful. I mean, I really love that. And had I had to go to work today after, I probably left my resignation on the board. Like, holy crap, I took to this movie. I really love this, so I recommend this so much. Yeah. It's not what people thought. I have read a lot of bad reviews because people were suspecting it to be like a John Wick thing, where Nicolas Cage was gonna kick doors in and be like, "Where's my pig?" And yeah, it's not that. It's a sweet anti-revenge movie, and yeah, go watch it. You need a little anti-revenge in your life. Alright, the last thing I got was this package here full of movies. So it came in the other day and I've been waiting to open it till now. So yeah, let's show off a couple of movies I just got in the door recently. I think there are 10 movies in this, if I remember right. There we go. I didn't cut into any of the movies. Praise be. Alright. Oh, there's a receipt. I should probably hurry up and remove that. There we go. Yeah. 10 new movies. Just in the door. And let's go over them. Holy crap. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna move it around like this. I'm gonna start off with the DVDs and end with the Blu-ray. And the first one is one I remember. I watched this in TV like years ago and was like really hooked on it. It was like very dark and very brutal, and it's The Seasoning House. Only recently figured out figured out what it was called, so I was happy to find it on DVD and can't wait to watch this. It's with what's his face, who I love, but can never remember his name, Sean Pertwee. Why can I never remember your name, Sean? And usually he's like a fun character in most movies he's in, but in this one he's a real bastard. So yeah, but yeah, I cannot wait to watch this again. It's like let me just see. The Seasoning House is a soulless place where young girls are bought and sold for men's pleasure. Here we meet Angel, a young orphan girl enslaved by Victor, Unbeknownst to her master, she moves between the walls and crawl spaces of the house, silently observing, learning, and planning for her escape. When her closest confidant is savagely killed, Angel can no longer contain her rage and sets out through both ingenuity and brutality to seek justice. So it's like a rape revenge sort of movie, and yeah, really intrigued to rewatch this, see if it still holds up. I also got another DVD called Hidden with Alexander Skarsgård. And yeah, what's this about? 301 days have passed since Ray, Claire, and their daughter Zoe found refuge underground. What looms above the servant prison they called home? The one thing they know for certain is that something terrifying and strange threatens their fragile existence and is coming for them. So again, this is what I talked about, like a movie where like there's not a lot of actors and they just get to play, and the fear of what is like outside the thing. At least that's what I think it is. I haven't watched this. I think that's what it's gonna be, and yeah, can't wait for this one. Like, looks pretty intense. Ghost Stories. Again, I bought this kind of like just on a whim because I'd heard it should be really good, and yeah, just bought it. And what does it say behind it? Generally haunting, best British chiller of the decade. And also saw that, what's his face? Bilbo, Martin Freeman, there we go. That's his face who was in this, and really wanted to see him in a horror movie. And let's just read. Professor Philip Goodman is the renowned skeptic of all things supernatural. Given the opportunity to investigate 3 unsolved cases, histories of baffling paranormal activity, he uncovers mysteries beyond his own imagination, each more frightening, uncanny, and explainable than the last, leading to a nightmarish conclusion that forces him to question everything he once believed. So yeah, he's like a paranormal investigator, like a debunker, sort of. So I got this. The Beast Must Die with Peter Cushing. This, what is this? This is not even like an Arrow video movie, is it? No, it's not. Like this is an old like mystery werewolf movie, kind of like in the same vein as the werewolf game. What's it called? Werewolf Within, I think. Anyways, it's about this group of people who are resting at this inn or tavern, and some of them get killed. They know that one of them is a werewolf and starts killing people at night, and they kind of have to figure it out. And there's even like, if I heard right, there's even like a part at the end where you get like a minute for yourself to collect your evidence and like come with a guess of who the werewolf is. So yeah, I just thought this sounded really good or interesting. I've seen pictures of the werewolf online. Doesn't look that great, honestly, but still, I had to have this one. It sounds bonkers. Alright, George C. Scott in Hardcore. Had to get this one. I've seen the scene of George C. Scott in the cinemas just screaming, "Shut it off! Turn it off!" Like a billion times, and I had to have the movie where it takes place. And it's about this like businessman whose daughter runs away. He's like an adult daughter, runs away. A kind of adult daughter, I think. I don't know how old she's supposed to be. She might only be like 17, who knows. She runs off and starts to do like adult movies, and then he tries to like find her, like bring her home again, but it takes him down like a dark path through the city and all the nasty porn areas, the best areas of the city, and he tries to find her and bring her home. And yeah, George C. Scott, I love you, so I cannot wait to watch that one. Another movie I heard got good stuff about. I've seen the trailers and it doesn't really do anything for me, if I'm being completely honest, but people keep saying how good it is, and it's a tale of 2 sisters. And yeah, this is the Arrow video version, so there's like another cover on the inside. I'm just, if I can open this thing up. Go. And that's the cool thing about Arrow Video. They make their own cover when they re-release a movie, and on the inside you can flip it around and they will have the original cover. That's probably the cover that most people are familiar with. And yeah, I'm gonna use that cover. Oops. there you go, Tale of Two Sisters. And this is it's a Korean movie. All right. Don't want to get my Asian countries mixed up because that'd be embarrassing. Director Kim Ji-won, A Bitter Story of Life, and I Saw the Devil, which again is one of my favorite Korean movies, made his international reputation with this richly convinced, stylized shot and genuinely scary chiller, one of the key films of the Korean New Wave. Alright, yeah. And does it say anything about the movie, or is it just... Yeah, it does this. Released from a mental institution, Sumi returns home with her father and her younger sister, Suyeon, only to face her cold stepmother's strange behavior and the disturbing apparitions that are haunting their house. What dark secret connects them all to the family's past? So yeah, people say this is great. I don't know. I haven't seen anything that like turned me on to this completely, but I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. And yeah, why not just take these two at the same time? With all this stuff about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, I got in the mood to watch a couple of Johnny Depp movies, so I bought Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which I've actually never seen. It's based on the life of Hunter S. Thompson. Yes, this weird. What was he? Was he a writer or interviewer or whatever? Journalist? Yeah, something like that. This weird character, and Johnny Depp plays him, and I don't know, people say it should be amazing, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this. And probably one of Johnny Depp's more underrated movies, in my opinion, Secret Window, based on a Stephen King story, if I remember right. Yes, based on a Stephen King story. Alright, and it's about like a story where Johnny Depp plays a writer who got writer's blockage, and suddenly this stranger comes up at his door one day and claims that one of the story he wrote is stolen from him, plagiarized from this stranger that comes up, and yeah, it takes some cool twists and turns, and I really love this movie. I watched it quite a few times when I was younger. Never owned it. I just watched it on TV and would tape it and stuff like that. But now I'm happy to have it on Blu-ray. Can't wait to rewatch this, see if it still holds up as good as I remember it. But I don't know. Definitely excited for this one. This one I also think I have seen once before, and I've been meaning to get it again. The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. Another, I think, Korean Western movie. Yes. And it's the... No, you don't believe it. I actually didn't know that. It's the creator of A Tale of Two Sisters. The same dude. I thought this was just like a fun action-adventure movie, but apparently these two movies have the same director. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. And yeah, Song Kang-ho from The Host is also in it, so that's awesome. And just see... Song Kang-ho plays a bandit who at random comes in the possession of a map. The region's most famous gangsters requires to acquire it back, but he doesn't know where it is, and even has a bounty hunter in his tail. Soon all of Manchuria's underworld. Okay, that's hard to translate the way that it's pronounced, but yeah. It's a weird movie. It's a fun action movie. I watched this a while ago, and yeah, I forgot what it was called. So now I'm happy to figure out what it was called and have it in my hands again. That was weird. Another Asian movie to finish off with, the last movie of this little collection, and it's Chronico. Probably didn't pronounce that right. An older movie, and it's about these two ladies who get killed by a samurai, and then they get turned into like a demon ghost or fox ghost or something like that, and starts taking their revenge, and should be really great, well made. It's from '68, and I just remember like another movie from a Japanese horror movie from the '60s, Onibaba, which is also fucking great, and that's just that stands the test of time. Like that feels like a modern movie with an old movie skin on it, and yeah. So I saw this one, and people talked about how great this was as well, so I had to have this one also. So yeah, here it is. And that was the last movie of this fucking pile. So yeah, I bought a couple of movies this past while. Bought a ton of good ones, also bought a couple of bad ones just for shits and giggles. And yeah, I'm really excited to watch some of the ones that I just gotten home today, or like yesterday I got them. And yeah, so yeah. a big movie nerd I am. And yeah, if you've been sticking through the bad English and my rambling, you're a real hero. Thanks for watching and take care!